Hi, my name is Dega Lazare, and I play the character of James. Well, in my opinion, I think what DYS is really about, from what I've kind of interpreted, joining the production is basically, yeah, it does deal with those themes, but I think the more, the stronger theme in the story is about the relationships between the couple and as the three of us as friends, circle of friends, and so and how these relationships, kind of entangle and rip and mend and bend and it's all these weird things, and then you throw an infectious disease on top of that, and you're gonna have a really good time. My character is named James, and so he's basically, in the grand scheme of things, he's kind of the third wheel of the entire story. And so basically I'm best friends with the character Sam, and through the plot of the story I kind of get into a situation with his wife, the character of Eva. And so that dynamic of me kind of bouncing off these two themselves as a couple are having problems, it's kind of like depends on the way you look at it. I might be trying to make things better, but I think in the end I may be making it worse. It's really cool because this is for myself, this is the first time I'm acting in a film, on a feature film, so I'm having a great time, but I've done some work in previous years on different productions in Toronto, and it's kind of a different vibe over there, and I don't know if this is because this is such a low budget production where it's basically like I feel kind of like the outsider because a lot of the cast and crew are already friends, Maude and her clique sort of thing, so I feel very privileged to be invited to participate with this group, and I can honestly say that every single person on this crew is amazing to work with, and every day is so enjoyable to come in and do my thing, but just, when there's a lot of waiting around on set, and so when I'm waiting around, it's kind of, you can have a good time with everybody, so it's really cool.
Okay.
I don't know if I could say I prepared. I think, because again, I was coming into this, I never really acted in a feature before, so it was, I think the first thing on my mind was, don't forget your lines. So I did a lot of studying and writing out my lines and stuff, and I wanted to be really prepared, and but as for getting into character, I think I just identified with the character James a lot, and talking with Maude, she also said that when I auditioned for the role, she said she really felt like that was the first time the character came to life, and it was just like and in my head I was like, maybe I was acting too much like myself, so I think it just worked out in that way where there's a lot of myself in the James character, and so I just used that. But he could be a little bit more crazier, he could be, and that's what's really cool about this character is you don't know when you show up on set every day, you don't know where you're gonna have to be. There's dramatic scenes, there's funny scenes, there's scary scenes, so it's been really cool. And my favorite was probably getting done up in all the infectious makeup and stalking Eva in her bed. That was kind of cool. What I'm used to is basically, special effects wise, is like trying stuff on myself at home.
Okay.
So this was the first time where I had two people just picking and throwing stuff on me, and I was literally in kind of this position because they're trying to paint my body and get my face ready at the same time. So, and I always like watch the making of DVDs, and the actors always talk about like, oh, the makeup process was horrible. Yeah. I was having a ball. I could do that every day. What I think DYS has to offer to an audience is basically, this is a film that, you know, deals with a lot of personal themes. You know, there's a lot of there's horror in there, there's a lot of sex. And the thing is that the way this film is kind of put together is, you know, the setting of a modern, because I think a lot of the film, like, you'll see just a modern representation of, I'd say, young people just starting their, you know, adulthood, I guess, and then what comes from that, you know what I mean? So it's kind of cool to see, you know, in a story set in an environment, you know, that has people, you know, moving into their first condo, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of cool to, you know, just show that, and I think what people will walk away after seeing DYS is kind of, you know, a really intriguing story, some really cool makeup effects, lots of blood, and, you know, get the shit scared out of them. And maybe turn them on too a little bit.